Hey everybody, getting ready to do another pixel art stream here for Pyrotoad. Just gonna spread the link around and then I'll be right with you, just like usual. Alright, looks like we're back from the ad. I've spread the link around. Yeah, so this is what we worked on yesterday. Or not yesterday, last stream. I almost did a stream yesterday, but then I ended up just hanging out. But yeah, so these flames are animated, and this green goo is animated. And I might change the skull face, but for now it's okay. It took us a while to get the color palettes all worked out, probably because we added this one. So instead of having the blue flames, we went with the green flames. This uses the same palette as this, which is the same palette as this. So there's a lot of the same palette being used, so that way we could have the clouds and the face. Actually, those, I think they're using the same palette as the rocks. Yeah, so we ended up using quite a bit of the same palette. Even this is using the same palette as the rocks. The trees are different, and I think it was doing something weird with this cloud where for some reason this tile is given a different palette than these tiles, and I couldn't figure out why. Oh, we changed the trees to be more of like a brownish color, but that actually matches the theme better. Yeah, and we got a little face in the trees there. So yeah, this is what we worked on. We're going to be using a lot of these same tiles to create the next level. So we'll open that one up, and it's always a good idea to check to make sure that we're working on the right levels in the engine. I'm going to sip on my tea for a second. Yeah, so this is level 17, but it's labeled level 16. This one's level 18, and it's labeled level 18. 18K to be precise. So yeah, we've got room for trees here. This might be better to be that rock. So it's always a good idea to look at the mechanics and stuff that won't be drawn. We will need some lily pads. And we can do some green goo there at the end as well. So yeah, we might have to do something with the lily pads and the palettes to get it all to work, but we'll figure it out. So let's open that up. 18K, not 18D, but 18K. Alright, so yeah, we've got 16H here and 18K. Now actually, we might not need to worry about the lily pad because we don't necessarily need this. It might actually be cool to put the rocks on this side. Yeah, let's do that while we're here. Yeah. We'll just go ahead and put this right there. We'll change this a little bit here, so that way it's like that. That way it kind of leads into the next level a little better, and we don't have to use this extra palette for the screen stuff, because the reason why we had it there was because it was from the last level. So I think that works pretty well. We'll just save this, and since this is actually the export, it should be fairly easy to just drop it in over the other one. This one, this one, this one, this one. It's the 16 color edit. So yeah, this is the folder, but I'm gonna drop it here so we can change the name. and then just replace the file that's there. Yeah, so now it's got this like that instead. And also, while we're here, we might as well change these. Not that the player can really reach that one, but just to make sure it's matching. I don't think the player can reach that one either. But yeah, so we'll save that, and we'll start working on this level. And I tested this level on the last stream, and it's really difficult. The levels get really hard. So we'll start by grabbing this whole thing, because that has a lot of the tiles that we need. And we'll make a new layer. Put it below it, and then we'll make a new layer and put it above it. And this will be the art layer. This will be the background layer. Let's get the grid out. We'll use this color for the background. Oh. Alright, now we'll name the layers here. We got reference, BG, art, and we can save this as an Aseprite file. We'll call it 18K color. Alright, so now we can start with this. Since it's gonna be like going off the screen. You know, let's get some more, before we get started, let's get some more here. Alright. So yeah, we're gonna do the brick being rock now. We'll grab these two tiles here, and we'll start there. And we'll grab this one, pull it down there. Grab this corner tile and bring it over here. This one there. And now we actually need a different tile, so let's see if we can find what we need. I don't think it exists yet, because it's like the opposite of this tile. So we'll grab that tile, and I think we could probably just get away with flipping it. I'm not sure though. Yeah, it looks fine to me. Oh, there's a tornado siren outside, but it's not a real siren, it's a drill, because it's the first Saturday of the month. It's a good month to be testing it. It looks like we're gonna get some heavy storms this month. I don't know if I'll be here planning a trip, but yeah. The forecast, like, it had like some type of prediction forecast for like saying that there's going to be a lot of storm activity in like midway through the month here, like from the 12th to the 19th or something like that. But you never know, it's the weather. No one can be certain. However, from what I understand, Oklahoma tends to get hit pretty hard. We had an intense winter. I mean, not snow-wise, but just wind-wise. Like the first weekend that I had moved here, the neighbor's trampoline ended up against my house. Woke me up with a big thud. I was lucky it didn't hit the roof. Or he was lucky, rather. Both were lucky, I guess. I would not have been pleased just buy a house and then the roof gets hit by a trampoline. But yeah, no, I just hit the facade, which is brick, so no harm. It hit the gutter a little bit, but not enough to make an insurance claim. Just scraped off some of the paint, didn't even really bend it that much. A little dent. But yeah, doing this with now that we already have the tiles that we need, and we already know the palettes, it's a lot quicker this way. And it matches the theme for the next, or for these levels, right? Because it's like still the Haunted Forest theme. I want to make sure that, yeah, I had it right, but I just wanted to make sure that it was right. But yeah, I want to get it away from that. One second here. Just pulling the stream up on another monitor so I can better keep track. And yeah. So these are gonna be trees, so I just might as well bring this over here. I'll end up needing to make changes and stuff, but at least it's out of the way. We'll just throw that there for now. And yeah, I can start chipping away at this also, because I don't really need to make duplicates of all of this stuff. Alright, but that one does go there. Oh, there's a wild Weedle in chat. That's a Gen 1 Pokemon. I know that much. So I think I can get rid of this stuff, maybe? I guess this one's still useful. Maybe this one. We'll throw that here. There. We don't really need that. The inside ones are still useful though. We'll keep those. I don't know what happened there. Oh, my doing. I did that. Yeah. So we'll take these and make a brush out of it. Missed the edge. It's giving me all sorts of trouble. Yeah. And then the inside. Oh, I caught it. Sweet. Didn't even need my Ultra Ball. You know what? This might be better off as trees. We look at the other level. There's like dirt there. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it'll be fine. Yeah, sometimes my voice just cracks. I'm not sure why. It only happens when I'm streaming. I think it's because I talk more than I usually do while I'm streaming. Like, because I live by myself, I don't really say a whole lot, so My voice probably gets dry. And then... Did we have another? This one? Is this what we need? Oh, it'll go there. And there. I preemptively deleted that one, I think. I'm digging how these rocks look, actually. Like it took a while to figure it all out, but I'm liking it. Like at first they were 5 colors on accident. I didn't realize that I introduced a 5th color, and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. Of course it looks cool. It's using more colors than it's allowed to use. And then once I figured it out, something happened where I must have like paint bucketed incontiguously and painted over some pixels that I didn't mean to, so I had to like go back and like fix a lot of the tiles, but it looks better now, so all the work was worth it. Yeah, so last stream I was talking about a film that I saw from, it was like from 2011, directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, and it had been so long since I watched it that I had to like rewatch it after talking about it. I don't know if that ever happens to you, where you like you like are reminded about something and then like you remember that you don't remember it that well, so you're like, oh, now I gotta go see it because I talked about it. And it's still a good movie. It's very, very dark, which I remembered. And was it God Bless America? It's called. Very, very dark, but funny if you can get past the crazy amount of darkness and the humor. Alright, so I've got this tile. And I've got this tile too. Alright, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, and then yesterday, instead of streaming, I started delving into Mix It Up more. There is so much to that, and I'm starting to finally understand it better. So there's a way to make variables. Well, first of all, you can do like CSS and JavaScript stuff in there, which I don't know how to do, but you could if you did know how. But you can actually get away with quite a bit with what they have already coded into the software. So there's a way to basically make variables. I found out They're called special identifiers. And then if you have a variable that's like persistent, like saves it throughout streams, like that's called currency. So it's a little bit confusing, but I'm starting to figure out the terminology and like what it means to me. And I'm actually working out a way to make Demon Fish Dead Ahead, my Game Boy game, work on the stream basically. It's not working yet, but it's going to be a redeem where you can, you know, pay 1,000 points or whatever and unlock the fishing minigame. And then it'll be like a RPG battle with the streamers being like players, and everyone gets an amount of health, and then every time you cast to do damage, you get a little bit of damage in return if you don't kill it, right? So I'll be like keeping track of the player's health, giving the player back health every like 5 minutes. I think I was saying every 5 minutes you get 25 health or something like that. Oh, Indie Maniac's here. How you doing? Welcome in. Thanks for getting first and for checking in. Very much appreciate that. How you doing today, Indie Maniac? You having fun? Yeah, I was just talking about how I'm learning Mix It Up, and got you a shout out there. But yeah, the Promise Mascot Agency, that was a trip. So if any of you haven't checked out Indie Game, or the Indie Maniac, sorry, not Indie Game, the Indie Maniac, you should definitely check out his channel. He does mostly horror indies, but also stuff that's not necessarily horror. Bit of a variety. I'm doing alright, just finished an audition, working on some other stuff. Probably be lurking here mostly. No problem, no problem. It's not going to be a long stream. Probably right into Kixie's when she starts, if she starts at her normal time. And, you know, just wanted to get some work in. I was super tired last night. Kind of went to bed at like a decent hour and then woke up at like 6 or so. So I was all ready to go by the time I started my stream, and wanted to get some work done. But I'm excited for Kixie's stream. She's always got cool stuff, and I have no idea what games she's streaming, so that'll be fun. It's always a little bit of a mystery. Yeah, so now I'm gonna put some trees in. We got trees over here. Just grab this whole tree. Sometimes my body is like, sleep now, and I kind of just go to sleep. That was me all week, cause busy week. Yeah, no, I hear that. I'm usually pretty good about like not just like falling asleep, but recently when I like fixed my sleep schedule, it's been like leaving me being tired at strange times. So yeah, like normally, well, throughout my life, I've been kind of a night owl. But if I wake up at like 4 or 5 or 6, I get pretty tired by like 10. And then I'm like pushing myself. And if I push myself too far, then I end up sleeping later. And then all of a sudden, before long, I'm waking up at you know, 7 p.m. or whatever, and everything's backwards. I'll just lay down for 5 minutes. It's the biggest lie I tell myself. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I don't like just fall asleep, is because I don't really go to bed unless I'm like going to bed. I used to do that. I don't have a couch right now, so that's probably part of it, because I used to like fall asleep on the couch. And right now I don't really have a need for a couch, so I haven't spent the money. Like my mom's talking about hooking me up with a couch, so that'll kind of help me decide the rest of my furniture, I guess, or like the rate of purchase of the furniture, because furniture gets kind of expensive. I don't know. I'm partially worried because it's like hand-me-down furniture, and sometimes that doesn't go so well. My ex hated when I fell asleep on the couch. Now I do what I want. Word. Yeah, that's the best part about being single, is that you can just do what you want. And you know, when I've been in relationships like that too, where like people get really upset over stupid little things, and it's like, are you really upset over that, or are you just getting upset because you're like ready to see other people, you know? And that's, when it's an ex, that's usually the case, unfortunately, but you know, what are you gonna do? Sometimes it's just not meant to be, you know? And there's no point in like pushing yourself to fit someone else's personality when they're just gonna find something else to dislike, you know? Getting kind of deep here though. I don't know what to do about this. Maybe make like a new branch tile. We've got enough tiles, but then we'll have to like come off of this one. Also, that's a really short branch, so maybe something like, oh crap, whoops, that's not what I want either. She didn't want me getting into bed late and waking her up, so she would bother me to go to bed, and I would get mad because I was mid-sleep and my body was acting without me being fully awake. Not good time overall. Yeah, that sucks. I get like that too though. If I'm like not fully awake, I'm pretty grumpy. And if I'm like half asleep still, I can be just downright grouchy, you know, and it's not the person that I want to be ever. So like, yeah, I get that. I'm a pretty chill person though. It takes a lot to upset me. Alright, so what I wanted to do was take this, put it over here, and see if I can work in a sideways log. I'll need connecting logs, but I think we got enough tiles. That is actually pretty easy. I'll just, whoop, don't want that. Just do this, maybe? Alright, maybe it needs to be more like that. I think that works. It's two extra tiles, but we'll use them again here and there, so it's not like a huge waste. Oh, we got a Pokemon. I get mad if someone tries to wake me up from what I've been told. Yeah, I don't think anyone really likes being woken up. Oh, so this tile's not gonna work there. So what we'll do is we'll take these two tiles and these two tiles. Actually, no, these two tiles. We'll put them there, and then we can take these tiles and put them there, just like that. Hey, Kixie's here. How's it going, Kixie? Welcome in. Yeah, I figured I'd get a little streaming in before your stream, if you're starting at the normal time, and then raid into you if that's cool with you. And then waking up is the worst part of the day. Oh man, that's an indication that you're not getting enough sleep, Kixie. Don't want to tell you what to do, but you might want to give it a shot. I don't like going to bed because I don't like waking up. Well, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy there. You're not gonna like waking up if you don't get enough sleep. The best feeling in the world for me is oversleeping. I love oversleeping, and I try to provide myself with every opportunity to do that. I didn't even realize we're in an ad, but looks like most people are subbed that are here anyways, so, which I very much appreciate. You are not wrong about how much I sleep. Yeah, I'm just guessing, but you know, that's the way I am. If I don't get enough sleep, I have trouble waking up, and I'll be grumpier because of it. And then you go straight for the caffeine, which actually just makes the cycle even worse, in my opinion. I know some people are reliant on caffeine, and it works differently for different people, but I was talking more so about being mid-sleep and being woke up. Yeah, like being on the couch and then being told it's time for bed, don't sleep on the couch, but you're like already deep in it and now you're out of it. Like, yeah, I get that. Been there. I used to have a party house, right? And people would just kind of, I'm gonna extend this log actually, we don't need that to be brick. And people would just kind of come over, and I would leave the door unlocked because it was always my friends, you know? So I would like be asleep on the couch, and all of a sudden people would just be in my living room, and I'd wake up. I'd be like, oh, people are here. It's a very weird feeling. I'm an adult, let me do what I want, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, your body will tell you when it's time to like chill out. I think it happens with age. Eventually your body's like, you know, you're not young anymore. But yeah, sometimes I would have dreams of people coming over when they didn't, right? And I would hear the door slam, because there was this, it was like a spring screen door in the garage, and every time the spring broke, we would just like stretch the spring out a little bit more and like put it back around the screw, which made the spring tighter each time. And after like the 5th time that we did that, the door just like slammed super hard. Like there was no stopping this door from slamming. So it was like my doorbell for when people came over. That door would slam behind them even if they tried not to. And I like heard that sound in my sleep one time, and I had like that sleep paralysis. Also, I used to like sleep with my eyes open a lot. So I had sleep paralysis, my eyes were open, I heard that sound, and I saw someone in my house, but they were like a black shadowy figure, and they were like looking at me and staring me down, and I had sleep paralysis, so I couldn't wake up, and like it was so weird. Like I ended up like rolling, because I was on the couch in my bedroom. I ended up rolling off my couch to wake myself up, and no one was there. it was just a dream. My friend said he dealt with that before. Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I don't like that feeling, but it doesn't happen to me very often. It's not like something that happens all the time or anything. But yeah, I'll never forget that experience. It was a powerful one. Even though like I said, no one was there, it sure as hell felt like someone was in my house, and I needed to like wake up to like, you know, make sure that they were like a friend or something like that. But sleeping with your eyes open is really, really weird. Because like, especially like if the sun is out and your eyes are open, you'll like dream about what you're seeing, but also I'm like nearly blind without my glasses. So like my brain like fills in the gaps, but does it like really creatively. Like one time I woke up and I was looking at the wall, and the sun was hitting the wall, and I was like, man, I just had the weirdest dream. How did like, but it was like the dream like was what I was looking at, but it was so blurry that it wasn't what I was looking at. And when I like, you know, started to focus my brain a little bit, I could tell that it was the wall, even though I didn't have my glasses on. But in my dream, it was like I was dreaming about this instrument that's never been made. Dream instruments are so weird, right? This thing, I actually drew a picture of it when I woke up because it was just like crazy. My favorite was going to a party and having nowhere to pass out, so the hardwood floor is looking pretty nice. Been there, although not on hardwood. I've been there on carpet for sure. Yeah, no, I would definitely opt for carpet other than hardwood. But yeah, definitely falling asleep on the floor before. Like, usually it's like a moving in party, right? Like what do they call that? A home something party. I should know this. My brain's just not doing the work here. At least it's carpet. Yeah, carpet definitely helps. Also, it's supposed to be good for your back to sleep on like a flat, hard surface every once in a while. Like, not all the time. It's not good for your head, but it's good for your back apparently. Then again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a chiropractor. But yeah, you know, you go to someone got a new house and they throw a party and they don't have furniture yet and everything's fine until it's time to crash and everyone's too drunk to drive, so there's just bodies all over the floor. Yeah, that definitely, true story, that's happened more than one occasion. So we'll steal this tile, put it up here. I've slept on the floor and in my car before. Yeah, I've definitely slept in my car before. I remember one time I was at a friend's house and we were drinking real late into the night and we got into an argument, like a drunken argument. Like, we were still friends afterwards, but like, I was upset. I was like, I'm going home, I'm leaving. He's like, you're drunk, you should just stay even though we're having an argument. And I'm like, no, fuck you, I'm out. And I fell asleep. I turned on my car. It was a truck, actually. I turned on my truck and just fell asleep. So I woke up and there was like just enough gas to get to the gas station. I was so lucky I didn't get pulled over, because they can give you a DUI for that, for sure. Falling asleep in a running vehicle, like, yeah. But everything was fine. Except that I was actually supposed to wake up early and go to work that day for my uncle, so he fired me. But I didn't want that job anyways. I had just gotten my first paycheck from it, and it was like just enough money to go out and buy beer, some weed, and the hell is the name of that game? God of War, the first God of War game for PlayStation 2. And yeah, so I, instead of going to work, I drove to the gas station because I realized I was nearly out of gas, and then I mean, my car was nice and warm. It's nice and toasty when I woke up. I had the heat blasting. And then I went home and played God of War all day instead of going to work. But that job sucked. It was like, I think it was like $8 an hour. And it was hard work. It was like, he owned a fabrication plant, I guess you would call it, but it was like a very small plant. We made anchor bolts, lots and lots and lots of anchor bolts. And I was like, I don't know, a senior in high school. I've gone to work the day after a party and only sleeping like 1 to 2 hours, and it's terrible. Yeah, no, I've definitely made some poor decisions like that myself. Actually, for that same job that I was talking about, because I was drinking a lot, my brother was drinking a lot, but my brother had a DUI, so he couldn't drive. So that was actually part of the reason why I got the job, was so I could give my brother a ride to work. But I was with an ex who was drinking a lot also, and so we like partied all night, like the three of us. And then even though I had to like be at work in the morning and I had to give my girlfriend a ride home, and I nearly freaking killed us. Like, it was terrible because I was like super tired, probably still drunk, hungover, and I didn't stop at the stop sign that like you're supposed to stop. I knew that the stop sign was there, but I just went right through it. And I slammed on the brakes before I went through it. And luckily no one was on the road because the people go really fast on that road, but it was a country road. No one was on it. And I nearly hit the ditch on the other side, but I like slammed on the brakes, skidded to a stop, and didn't go into the ditch on the other side. I was like, oh shit, that was a close call. Had to drive people home too, and I was so tired I fell asleep, and the bumps on the side of the road woke you up. Oh man, dude, my brother made the worst choice coming home from a party. He fell asleep at the wheel, and ended up, so it was country road, actually the same country road that I was just talking about, just on a different side of it. And there was like rural homes on this road, right? So they are like they have like a big ditch on either side of the road, but then the driveways, the ditches are filled in, and there's like a galvanized steel tube that goes through, so the ditch water can get to the other side of the driveway. Well, he ramped the conversion van, my dad's conversion van, he ramped it off of one of those driveways and just like launched into this person's yard and hit their tree, and just and like the car was like upside down or something like that, so it landed on the front where the driver's side was, but the suction, and he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, so the suction of the centrifugal force pulled him all the way to the back of the van, and he lived because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, because the whole front end got caved in. And it's so weird because one of my friends actually lived in the house that he crashed next to, and my friend and his dad actually saved his life or something, pulled him out of the, I don't know about saved his life, but pulled him out and called the cops, and I think that's where he got his DUI. But yeah, for some reason I don't think he actually got a DUI. I think he got a 0 tolerance because he wasn't old enough to be drinking or something. I don't know, something. My brother always had the craziest luck with that shit. He would like get in super big trouble and then somehow get like let off, like with like a slap on the wrist. So yeah, I want some tree branches up here. We'll go ahead and grab all of this here. Or tree leaves, not branches. But yeah, drinking and driving is like the stupidest thing you could do. And I'm saying that from experience. I don't recommend it whatsoever. It's very, very dangerous. The problem with drinking is that it makes you think that your decision-making skills are fine, but they're not. There's no way. Anytime you're drinking, your decision-making skills are like worse. Oh, there's a Pokemon. OMG, never did anything that bad. I got lucky every time I had a close calls in a car. Yeah, I myself driving always got lucky as far as accidents. Like, the worst accident from me driving was I backed into a ditch trying to do a 3-point turnabout. I was really stoned, and I backed right into this ditch and stopped myself. Like, but one of the wheels was already off the ground, one of the front wheels, and it was like a truck, so like it wasn't gonna go anywhere. And me and my 2 buddies got out, and I was like, all right guys, let's try to push it, but I couldn't take it out of park without like it sliding back into the ditch. So I was like, all right, I was like delegating here. I was like, all right, Mark, you're good with trucks, you put it in first and floor it, and then me and Ryan are gonna go back and push it. And so we tried that, and it wasn't working. And so instead of like putting it in park, he put it in neutral, and it rolled back, and the door was open, and it just rolled. It was such a steep ditch that the door got crammed against the front, and I couldn't get it to shut. Even after we got it towed out, I couldn't get it to shut, and that sucked. Eventually, we got a new door put on it, I think, and or maybe they just managed to fix it. I don't really remember how the door thing worked out. But yeah, eventually that truck started on fire. It spontaneously combusted in my driveway. It was the craziest shit. Like, it's probably my fault that it happened because, like, so, I had, like, this really long, it was like a 1/5 of a mile long driveway. It was all gravel, and it was really old, and there was, like, a patch of clay underneath it in part of it. So after a while, from rain and people driving on it while it's wet, that clay gets compacted, and like you end up with these big potholes, right? And so my driveway was notorious for its potholes, and so like anyone who like knew about it would like drive slowly, kind of edge off the driveway over those potholes and go back onto the driveway. But people who didn't know about it would be like, oh, a long driveway with trees all around it, I'm gonna fucking floor it, and then they'd hit these potholes and make it worse, right? Well, anyways, one day I was me and my buddy John, we were in a band together, so we were like jamming and stuff, and we wanted to get some weed, so I left, got some weed, came back, and we were gonna smoke it, right? But on the way back, the driveway was like in this like wet state where it wasn't like super wet, but it was kind of wet, right? And so I was using the opportunity to drive back and forth, like drive over the pothole and then like drive reverse, like around the edges to try to like smooth out the pothole a little bit. And like the 5th or 6th time that I like gone forward and backwards, it made this really, really weird loud sound. It was like, and me and John just kind of looked at each other like, what the fuck was that? I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm done doing this, and it drove like normal, like nothing was wrong. But then I parked it in the driveway, turned it off, and we went and smoked a bong, right? Well, I put the bong back over by the window that was facing the driveway when we were done, and like we jammed for like an hour. And then we were like, all right, let's smoke some more weed. So I go back to grab the bong, and I noticed the flames pouring out of the wheel well of my truck. It was crazy. The tires were melting. The whole thing was, the whole front end was on fire. Like, and my mom's minivan was parked right next to it because my brother was driving my mom's minivan. So first thing I did was I was like, John, hide the bong, I'm calling the fire department. He's like, what? I was like, I don't have time to explain, look out the freaking window. And he's like, oh my god, your house is, or your car's on fire, it's gonna light your house up, because it was like 2 feet away from the driveway. Yeah, so I ended up grabbing the garden hose, which wasn't long enough to reach the car, so I'm trying to spray it over the house, like over the garage, and it wasn't working. So then I got like a 5-gallon bucket and filled that up and then tossed it onto the car, and it evaporated before it even hit the hood. That's how hot this thing was by the time we got to it. And then so I got in my mom's minivan. It burned my hand. That's how hot it was. The thing on the bottom, the bezel was melting. Because it was parked next to this burning vehicle. So I saved my mom's minivan by burning my hand and jumping in. It was like there was smoke inside. It was bad. So I moved it down the street or down the driveway. It was a big driveway, right? And yeah, and called the fire department, right? And finally the fire department came. This guy comes with this huge fire extinguisher, and I'm like, all right, that's gonna work, right? That's gonna work, right? He looks and he's shaking his head. No, this ain't gonna work. I'll spray it, but it ain't gonna work. A fire like that, this ain't gonna do anything to a fire like that. And it didn't. This huge fire extinguisher, he sprayed it all over, did nothing to this fire. Didn't even slow it down. So we had to wait for the big old fire engine to come and just completely destroyed the driveway. So any work that I was doing to flatten the driveway was just completely out the window because this huge fire engine just like, blah, like the gravel's not even on the driveway anymore. and it put out the fire. But then afterwards, the fire marshal, he's talking to me, he's like, so you're a heavy smoker, huh? And I'm like, okay, I swear to God, I throw my butts out the window, which is a bad thing to do, by the way, but that was the case. I was like, you know, because in Illinois, at least, you're not going to start a forest fire usually from doing that. Of course, in California, you definitely should not do that. You shouldn't do it anywhere because it's littering. But yeah, at the time, that's what pretty much everyone in the area was doing. So like, it was normal for me to say that. And anyways, he was commenting on the amount of cigarette boxes that were in the car because I just threw them in the back, right? And he was just joking. He said the fire started in the engine compartment. It wasn't my fault. But yeah, long story. Actually, I got some good pictures of the car after it burned from that though. Or actually just one good picture. I got in an accident where someone turned into me and they drove away. Minimal damage. Also a fender bender where I hit the person in front of me and someone hit me as well. Again, minimal damage. Most recent time, someone slightly tapped into my company car and it was barely anything. Right on. Yeah, it's good to be lucky. There is no more coffee and I don't want to make a new pot just for one cup. You don't have a Mr. Coffee cup at a time? Might be a good investment for you. Or instant coffee. I know that there's some conjecture about whether or not that's even coffee at all, but that's what my stepdad would do. He would make his own instant coffee every now and then. If there wasn't a pot burn, he'd just make an instant coffee. I had such a bad experience with a bong, man, but it was stupid, so kind of my own fault. We had Keurig, but it broke quickly. Oh, that's sad. The Keurigs are expensive too, aren't they? I kind of want to hear your bong story. I mean, bong stories can be very bad. I don't really have any terrible bong stories. One time I made a bong out of a 2-liter. And I was using it to smoke Salvia divinorum, which is like a legal hallucinogen. And I don't know, it's big in Canada. It used to be big in the States, but I don't know, I think you could probably still get it in the States because it's legal, unless they change the laws. But it made the worst smelling bong water ever, and because it was like a homemade bong, like I remember like having the smell like on me, on my hands. I probably wiped it on my pants, but like when you're like tripping on Salvia divinorum, first of all, it's not a good trip, really. It's one of those like Native Americans used to use it like for their like spiritual journeys and stuff like that. It's a hard trip. Like it's not like an acid trip or a mushroom trip even. It's much more abrasive than that, we'll say. So yeah, I remember like just not wanting to smell like bong water, but smelling like bong water, and I hated it. It was like temperature changed like really quickly. Like all of a sudden I was too hot, and then I was too cold, then I was too hot, then I was too cold, then I was hot, it was cold. So yeah, never really got into that drug. Too many people in this house, so things get heavily used. Ah, that makes sense, yeah. Well, my friends talked me into smoking that synthetic weed. Oh my god, that stuff is terrible. Absolutely terrible. In high school. And that was going around for a while. They cleared the bong, sat silently, having a panic attack. Don't recommend that shit to anyone. Don't do it. It's so bad. It's so bad. One time my buddy came over with it, and he's like, hey, I've got some of this synthetic stuff. I don't have any real stuff, like, but if you want, you can try it. I just took a one-hitter of it, and instantly I was like, oh my god, that is the worst in the world. Like, never. Like, it almost reminded me of the uncomfortability level of the Salvia divinorum, but it was worse because it was that fake weed shit. So that stuff is like way worse than regular weed. My one friend did it all the time, and I was like, why? Yeah, it's one of those things, man. I had a buddy who did it, and then his cousin actually had like a really bad experience with it, and I guess he had taken like a bunch of different types of it and made like a blunt out of it, and then smoked the whole blunt to himself, and he had to be hospitalized. He had like I don't want to say brain damage, but he needed psychiatric help afterwards, like seriously. So yeah, it's a very serious thing. Imagine having a panic attack. That's basically it. Yeah. No, you're right on with that. Like I've had like hallucinogenic trips where it was a panic attack, and that's terrible. It's terrifying. And that's the way Salvia Divinorum was too, except that you like some people say that they turn into like a cartoon character and everything else is a cartoon character, or like you get stuck as like being two-dimensional. like you're like folded into the seat of the couch kind of thing. Like you can't get off the couch because you're two-dimensional. Like weird trip stories about the Salvia shit. Another bad one was LSD analogs. Those were like popular for a bit. One of my buddies came over and was like, "Oh, I got this fake acid that I got online. It was legal." So like, but it was like, I don't know, it was like legal in Germany or something like that. I don't know how it got made, but it was bad. It was bad stuff. And it was like, it just made you feel sick. It made you feel like yeah, like there was some waviness, like there was hallucinations going on, but it didn't make you feel good at all. It made you feel sick. It made you feel like, why did I do that? It was like the worst feeling. If you want to smoke weed, smoke the real stuff. Or you want to save your lungs, just eat it. My words of wisdom for the day. Yeah, definitely. I honestly, I don't really like eating it, because for me that's too intense. I know people's mileage varies a lot on that, but for me it was like too intense, too hard to like standardize, right? Like, because it takes too long to kick in to know how much is going to affect you, and then and usually it's like these little gummies, you know, so it's like, oh, I'll eat a gummy and wait an hour and I don't feel anything, so I eat another gummy and wait an hour, and then I kind of feel something, so but I kind of want to feel more, so I'll take another, and then all of a sudden it all kicks in at once and you're like, oh shit, I ate too much of that. And you're not even like thinking clearly anymore. Like when I smoke weed, which I haven't smoked weed in a couple months now here, but when I do, I'm usually able to keep my head completely, like think clearly, process thoughts clearly, do things that I normally do, draw, make music, all that stuff. I can do it just as good, if not better, but not on the edibles. The edibles, they turn me into a zombie. I just want to like turn on the TV and just like drool, which is not something I normally do. There's a Pokemon in chat, a wild Zororo. I quit a long time ago, personally. Yeah, I don't hold that against anyone, whether they choose to smoke weed or not. Personally, I enjoy it. I like smoking it, but it's also not good for you to smoke in anything in general. So like, yeah, there's that for sure. But also it affects people differently. So me saying, oh, it's good, it's fun, I like it makes me creative, you know, I can get things done on it, like that, it doesn't have that effect on everyone. So I don't go around saying that, because I know that some people, it just turns them into zombies, or they make poor decisions on it, or whatever, you know. But I've also been smoking it for a long time. I started when I was like 12 or 13. And that's not good either. I don't recommend that at all. You're not supposed to smoke that until you're 21, obviously, but you know, kids will be kids, and we all gotta learn from our own stupid mistakes sometimes. But yeah, it's a lot better now that things are regulated with the legal cannabis and medical cannabis, because not only do you like know what you're getting, but you can see the percentage of THC that's in there, and it's like regulated. Like, it's not just like, I mean, one time I got a bag of weed that had freaking breadcrumbs in it, man. freaking breadcrumbs in it. You know how bad bread tastes when it burns? It's bad. So I confronted the guy. I was like, yeah, there was breadcrumbs in that weed that you gave me. He's like, oh yeah, I ran out of bags, so I recycled a bag. the guy had literally taken a bag out of the trash that previously had a sandwich in it. And like didn't even get the crumbs out before he put my nugs in there, you know? Like, they don't do that at the dispensary. Although one time I did get a moldy jar from the dispensary, but you know what I did? I took pictures of it and I went back and said like, hey, I got a moldy jar from you guys, and when I called, like there was like no repercussions. Like they weren't able to help me when the guy like hung up on me when I called the number that was on the receipt. So I just like went back to the dispensary because I wanted to get more, and I knew it was like a thing that happens. And they gave me a discount. They gave me a free eighth or whatever. And yeah, it just hadn't cured long enough before they stuck it in the jar. That's all. Smoked for years from the end of high school through a good portion of my 20s. Oh, right on. Yeah. Well, it's good on you for quitting then, because I know that's very difficult for some people once they get like really into it. And like I mentioned, it's bad for your lungs. It's not good to smoke all the time. I've quit a few times and then gone back to it because I missed it and I enjoy it. So I'm sure that I will go back to it again, and I'm sure that I will quit again. Like I don't really have a problem quitting with it. My problem with it is that I get terrible nightmares when I don't smoke weed. After like 3 or 4 days of not smoking weed, I get the most intense, terrible nightmares. And it's been happening almost every night for like the past couple months. I'm like getting used to having nightmares, like waking up in cold sweat. Cause I have post-traumatic stress disorder. So like that happens while I'm sleeping a lot. Like be reliving experiences or living completely new experiences that relate to previous experiences. It's just not good. Weed, I mean, never cigs for you. I did cigarettes for a while. For like 15 years I smoked cigarettes, and it's weird. I tried to quit like right away and had so much trouble quitting that like basically took me, I don't know, like 12 years to quit. That may help to smoke, then cause your mind is going to a more relaxed state. Well, it's like I mean, it's not super well researched or anything like that, but there's a lot of people who have the same experience as me. As you smoke for a long time and then you stop, you get really, really intense nightmares. And I don't know what it is exactly. My theory is that, and this is just a theory, is that when you're smoking weed, that whatever is going on while you're dreaming is kind of happening while you're awake. But also, when you smoke weed, there's a chance that you don't remember your dreams as well, and maybe I'm having those dreams, just not remembering them. Because I definitely remember my dreams better when I don't smoke weed. But they're always really, really weird and scary and very, very vivid. It might seem like if I explain it to someone else, it would sound like the weirdest shit, but at the time of the dream, it's like so scary. Like I remember one dream where this dude was on stilts, like jumping around the gym, and I was in gym class, and like he was like going crazy, and at the end of it, he like was like sliding, because these were like really big stilts, and he like slid down on the stilts to land, and he like did it too fast and like became a pancake on the floor, and that just scared the shit out of me while I was sleeping. Like I was sweating bullets when I woke up, and then I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of funny. That's kind of a strange dream. I don't know why I was scared of that, but like it was scary. I tried CBD and ashwagandha. I'd never heard of ashwagandha as well for anxiety. Both make you feel a high as well, but I guess it's a legal one. LOL. Yeah, I've never tried CBD, but I've heard that it's more of like a body feeling than it is like a head high. But yeah, there is CBD in cannabis, so I'm sure I've felt the effects of it, just usually with THC as well. But yeah, I've heard that it's great for arthritis and shit like that. Yeah, I know no idea what ashwagandha is, so that's interesting. I kind of want to look that up. In all of my years of drug research, I've never found ashwagandha. I typed in ash and it came up right away. Contain chemicals that may help the brain reduce swelling, lower blood pressure, and alter the immune system. Interesting. Well, I have low blood pressure, so I shouldn't be taking anything like that. Or at least I had low blood pressure when I was not, because it could have been along with the whole gluten thing, right? Because my body wasn't absorbing the nutrients, so like probably things like salt even weren't getting absorbed properly, and salt raises your blood pressure. Ashwagandha comes in a pill if you want. Yeah, that's what I was looking at here. Yeah, it looks like people take it for stress, anxiety, sleep, something like that. But I don't know. I'm not opposed to organic solutions for anything like that, but also, yeah, I wouldn't take it myself just because of the blood pressure thing. I used to have problems fainting, like when I smoked a lot of cigarettes, or when I was vaping even. I would faint or get close to fainting, and that's not fun. It's a bad feeling. But yeah, I didn't know that I had blood pressure until like for a long time I just didn't go to the doctor. I was like, well, don't have insurance, so I'm not gonna go to the doctor. And when I finally did go to a doctor, they're like, you have low blood pressure. I was like, oh, well, I guess that makes sense considering that I faint sometimes. But yeah, smoking makes your blood pressure do weird things. I think it lowers it while you're smoking, but raises it in general, like because of stress. But I'm not really sure on that. But cannabis would do the same thing then. Oh, this level's interesting. It ends over here. A lot of the levels ended like right where you start. We'll do another tree there to stay with the forest theme. I guess we only need this for now. I went to a coffee place that put ashwagandha in it, and that helped. Interesting. I went to a coffee place that did something else. I can't ever remember what it's called. Coffee additives. Kava. I think it was called Kava. Yeah. It was this Kava coffee place in northern Arizona, and my buddy was like, hey, you want to try this Kava stuff? I was like, all right, yeah, whatever. And it tasted like cocaine. It was weird, and it definitely added more like of a stimulant to the coffee. And we played chess. And it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't something that I would like shoot for or be like, oh yeah, I want to have some kava in my coffee. Like, coffee's already like a stimulant enough for me, probably too much. That's why I drink more tea than coffee. I haven't had any coffee since I moved down to Oklahoma. Actually, it's been probably over a year or two even that I've had coffee. I can't remember the last time I had coffee. Sometimes I'll think about having coffee and then I'll just have tea instead, and that's enough. Oh, I guess this could go there, right? And we could grab this guy here and go over here. But yeah, honestly, I'm really glad that like my drug days are behind me, because I had a tendency to take things too far, even from when I was very young. And honestly, I'm very glad that cannabis is legal, and there's less of a stigma around it, and that like people understand it more. Because I don't know, I was kind of self-medicating with it, you know, for like a long time. So like it made sense to me, you know. You just when something works, you know, it works. But to try to convince everyone else of that was difficult. But now it's not. Now people get it. What happened there? I left some pixels behind. I didn't want them to bother me later, and then I ended up deleting pixels that I wanted. But I will say that smoking weed makes making music like very, very easy for me. Like it's not like it's hard to do sober, but it's just like way, way easier to do when I'm stoned. Like it just happens. Like I don't even have to think about it. It just comes. And it's stuff that I like too, usually. Like even this song we're listening to now, I think I made while I was stoned. But I know other artists who say that they can't smoke weed and make art, and that is just never an issue for me. I'm that way with alcohol. I can't do stuff with alcohol in my system. Obviously, I haven't drank in years now, but when I used to drink a lot, I would try to make music and I would try to make art, and it was always worse. And like I knew it, everyone around me knew it. But there was the denial and the addiction. I think was more. It was more addiction than denial. There was this one recording of me singing for this band, and I was just smashed, and it was so bad. And it's recorded, and at one point it was even on the internet, but I took it down because I was like, this is so bad. Yeah, Wild Graveler. That's a Gen 1 Pokemon. Hey. But yeah, some people, they forget how to communicate when they smoke weed. Or they get really, really paranoid, right? And I think this is a common thing where like you're smoking weed and you like can read other people's thoughts all of a sudden, and they're like, wait, can they read my thoughts too? And you're like, oh shit, what if everyone can read each other's thoughts and we're just pretending that we can't read each other's thoughts? And then you're like, wait, am I just reading their body language? Yeah, because that's a thing. You can read people's body language, and in a way you are reading their thoughts. Oh, I caught it. No one else did. Sorry guys. I got the Pokey Luck today. But yeah, I remember one time I was so stoned and I had all these people over, and like all of a sudden I just got like really, really paranoid that like that I had like, that I was like mentally challenged, and that like these people were there just because like they were like pity friends, and like, and I was just really, really, really stoned. But that, I remember being like terrified of that for like a minute. I was like, uh-oh, all of my friends don't actually like me. They're just here because they have to be nice to me. Or maybe they're gonna use me, you know, like paranoia. Like, I don't know. But I also got pretty good at dealing with anxiety, I think, because of the amount of weed that I smoked, right? Because it was illegal for like most of the time that I was smoking it, and I was like waking up and smoking it, going to school and smoking it at school, right, on recess, in the parking lot, even in the school, depending on the school, and I would manage to not get in trouble. Like, I did get in trouble once for having a pipe, but I never got caught smoking it. And I'd have to like go to the principal's office because I ditched the day before or whatever, and I have to like talk to teachers and talk to the principal, and I got really good at just like, you know, not letting the anxiety get the best of me. So I feel like that did kind of train me, because I can get anxiety sometimes. It's not like debilitating, but it can be. Like recently when I was, when I just moved in here, I was at Walmart and I had this strange panic attack. I don't usually get panic attacks unless I'm like, you know, on some type of hallucinogen or something like that. But, you know, it's been forever since I've done anything like that. But, so I'm at Walmart and all of a sudden I'm like getting the blood pressure changes and the temperature changes, and like, and I didn't know where I was, kind of thing. I didn't remember. I was like, is it like I knew where I was, but I didn't know where I was, right? Because I was like in a new Walmart for the first time, in a new city for the first time, and like all by myself for like the first time in a long time. Also, the first time at a grocery store by myself for the first time in a long time. And like, I honestly haven't been leaving the house much since the whole COVID thing even. So like, just being around people and like, I don't know, I handled it really well though. I just like took off my sweatshirt and then like focused on breathing until things went back to normal, and then I did the rest of my shopping. Oh, the other thing was that I had just woken up, but I had to like go to the store then because it was gonna close, right? So my sleep schedule was messed up. I just woke up and I forgot to hydrate after I woke up, and I think that was the kicker, because I like should have drank some water, you know, like right when I wake up. That's usually what I do. And I was just like so concerned about getting the things that I needed from Walmart before it closed that like, yeah, sleep does mess with your anxiety. Absolutely. Yeah. So like the culmination of all of that just like came together and just like hit me like a ton of bricks. And I had to resort to my training. No, actually I dated a girl who had like really bad anxiety panic attacks, and she taught me a lot about how to deal with that, just because I had to like help her deal with her panic attacks. And for example, the last thing you want to do is tell them to calm down. I didn't understand that. I was like, can't you just calm down? Can't you just chill out? Like, why are you freaking out? Don't freak out. It's like, that's not what you tell someone that's having a panic attack. Just breathe. Just focus on your breathing. Don't worry about anything else, just focus on your breathing. That's what you gotta do. Wish it was that easy. Yeah, no, it's not that easy. Easier said than done. I think that's the first time we got a SNES Star Fox redeem going, so that's cool. I put the 64 ones and the SNES ones together, but there's definitely more 64 ones than there are SNES ones. Because there just aren't that many sound effects in the SNES version. Also, I'm pretty sure Slippy changed genders between the SNES and the Star Fox, or the 64 version. I could be wrong, but it sure seemed that way to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Interesting nonetheless, though. I was actually playing Star Fox on stream a few streams ago. I got one or two gold medals on expert mode, which is difficult to do. I've only got one left. One or two left. Now I'm second guessing myself. It's already 1 o'clock. 1:12 here. But I'm getting stuff done here. I'm powering through this. Probably won't finish the background, but I might be able to finish this. But yeah, no, I was learning a lot about Mix It Up. There's so much you can do with that. I'm basically I'm making my own fishing game, my own custom fishing game, based on my Demon Fish Dead Ahead game. And it's still got some ways to go, but I'm pretty sure that I can do it. Like, it's possible. Whether I can do it or not, like, that's another question, but it's definitely possible, but I'm pretty sure that I can do it. I don't know how fun it'll be, but it's like a whole nother discussion. But the fact that I can do it is cool enough. I want to try to get Mix It Up to change my category. I just need the time to research it all the way and tinker. Yeah, I was looking into that too, and I didn't get very far. You know, it's weird. There is not a lot of tutorials for like the deeper stuff. It's all like how to make the mini games, how to make the currency. And don't get me wrong, all that stuff is useful. But yeah, it's getting harder to find stuff that I don't know on YouTube. But I did join the Mix It Up Discord server, and there's a lot of information in there. If you just like search for what you're looking for, chances are someone's already asked a question about it. But as far as the category goes, yeah, I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. I think it's kind of like how I set the raid message, right? Like, if I do, oh, I'm on the wrong keyboard. Did I just delete everything? Yeah. So if I do explanation set raid message and then put in wave raid, it sets the raid message, right? And then if I type in raid message, then it does that. So I think it's like that, except that I would be like set game category and then type in that and then hit change category, and then it will change it to what the thing I typed in. My question is how does it like make sure that it's like the right category, right? Because like if you misspell it, or if it's not, or if there's multiple categories for it, like Doom has like a frickin' boatload of categories for it. because there's like so many different Doom games, I guess. So like you gotta remember like Doom parentheses 1995 parentheses like because like otherwise like what does it do if you get that wrong? Does it guess, or does it just do nothing, or does it tell you like, oh, that's not gonna work? Like I don't know, I just haven't played with it enough. But I think it's a similar thing where you're basically making a thing. I don't have the words for it. I'm not a Mix It Up pro yet, but I'm getting there, getting better. But yeah, I don't think there's a way to completely automate it like that, like where it just knows what game you're playing. That would be the best. But also, yeah, if your mods could just change it for you, that would be cool too. Of course, the mods gotta remember too, and neither I nor Indy are the best at reminding you to change your category as it is, so I don't know how much that would actually help. But I'll do my best to remember today. And every other day for that matter. Yeah, the only thing I could think of to make things a little easier would be to maybe like have a timer for how long you want to be just chatting for. But I know that's hard to guess because like obviously chatting is going to take different amounts of time. You're going to want to spend more time depending on how many people are chatting, and you know, depending on the games and all that stuff. But it might give you like an idea of like how long you've been chatting for, and like not like a determined like time, like, oh, we gotta change categories now, but like that timer for me would help remind me. I know I'm big on timers. I haven't been setting up timers so much here in Oklahoma, but like when I was at my mom's, I was setting timers for fucking everything, because it's just there's just too much going on to like for me to like remember the time of all that stuff, you know. So if I had a pizza in the oven or something, I'd put a timer up, you know, because I'd be downstairs away from it with my noise canceling headphones on, so you know, that way I could still get things done. But I would like to not need reminders. Yeah, I totally feel that. That is a good idea to have an alarm to remind me to change the category. I mean, it's only a good idea if it works for you, you know? I totally get not wanting to have all of that. But I don't know. You could always try it and see if it works, and if it doesn't work, try something else, you know? Oh, there's a graveyard? It's almost like a graveyard in chat. I have an alarm that says you've been streaming too long. Yep, you do have that, and that's probably pretty useful too, because I know like when you're into it, it's hard to like stop yourself, or at least for me. And you want to make sure that you're healthy. You don't want to get sick again. How are you feeling, by the way? Are you up to regular health again, Kixie? Or are you still feeling the illness? You were sick for a while there, right? That sucks. I hate that feeling. That's like the worst feeling. Hey, you caught the Pokemon. I can't pronounce it. The Greavard? The Greavard. Oh, this doesn't need an angle there. I didn't think about that. Feeling much better. My throat is still healing from it all. Not sick, just need to all the way recover still, if that makes sense. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Thank you for asking. Of course. I hope that you feel better soon. Like I said, that's just the worst feeling. Oh, I think this could go down all the way. But I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad that you're not sick anymore. But yeah, it sounds like your throat had a rough time with it. Probably lots of coughing then, I take it. That's never fun. I do this thing where I don't cough. I picked it up from a vocal coach. Instead of coughing, I do this thing. It's gonna sound weird, but I go like that, and I just kind of blow air really hard from my diaphragm through my throat. And anytime I have like something that I need to hack up, that's enough pressure to get it out without actually having to go because that actually will cause callousing on your throat, which is counterproductive to singing, because when you sing you actually create calluses in your throat and your vocal cords. So that's how some singers are when you're a singer, it's easier to hit pitches because you've created those calluses that create the waveform coming out of your mouth, so that way it hits those pitches. But yeah, coughing actually destroys that growth. So that's why after you're sick and coughing a whole lot, like your voice sounds different after coughing a lot. That's why. Because your throat actually, or I mean your voice when you're speaking, your speaking voice actually hits certain pitches too. And that's why a lot of times when singers talk, they sing, or they talk in key or in pitch, right? Or in tune rather. As far as illnesses go, it was not too bad, just persistent. I used to get really bad bronchitis every year for years, so I bet I have those calluses. Well, calluses heal, I mean, but they don't, yeah, they also like, so the thing about your throat and your mouth and stuff, it all heals a lot. But yeah, scarring is scarring. So yeah, if you have scarred calluses, like, yeah, that's probably part of it. It makes up the uniqueness of your voice, probably. But that's sorry to hear that you had chronic bronchitis like that. I used to have chronic bronchitis, but I smoked a lot, so like that makes sense. But it went away as soon as I stopped smoking. Actually, as soon as I started vaping, it went away. So I do think that vaping is better than smoking, but also it's just as addictive, if not more, because you can do it in more places. You don't have to go outside to do it. If I had a vape here, I could be vaping while I talk, you know. And that's the kind of the way that I was. If I could, depending on my job, I would vape at work, you know, or I would take vape breaks instead of cigarette breaks, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm glad that you no longer get chronic bronchitis, because that's not fun. But yeah, an example of that is no, I was thinking of an example, now I can't think of her name. Janis Joplin. She had a very distinct voice, but she also smoked a lot and drank a lot. And it didn't stop her from singing, but some people really didn't like her voice. Of course, you could have that with anyone's voice, but the distinct quality of her voice was probably because of her other habits. And also, you get more sick when you get sick more often when you drink and smoke, so that could have been part of it too. Another example is again, I can't remember his freaking name. Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. He was a big heroin addict, and that will affect your voice too. I mean, the same way. So you get sick more often when you're a junkie, and you probably don't take care of yourself as well when you're, you know, in that situation. You know, you probably won't hydrate as often as you should, and you would probably sing even though it hurts because you don't feel it because you're on heroin, you know, like that kind of stuff. So he probably damaged his voice, and that's probably where the distinctness of his voice came from. Of course, he could have had a distinct voice to begin with, but those things will have an effect. Her voice is amazing and unique. Yeah, I like Janis Joplin's voice. Obviously, I never got the chance to see her live, but definitely interesting music. I definitely enjoyed Janis Joplin. I haven't listened to it in a while, but I used to listen to it quite a bit. She was on that that Train Jam video. What was it? Not Train Jam. Festival Express. And that was, you could tell she had a lot of fun on that trip. Burrito time, BRB. Yep, have a good burrito. Enjoy your burrito. I don't know how that looks. It looks a little weird, huh? We probably have enough unique tiles that we could do that with. Let's count, do a tile count here. So it's only 131. So yeah, we're not over on tiles. So we could probably use that or do something different there. What am I doing? Yeah. Burrito sounds good, by the way. Yeah. So if we bring up the grid, I'm thinking if we just like move this down 1 pixel or 2 pixels, and then this one down 1 pixel, and then do the same thing here, 2 pixels, 1 pixel, and then fill in the gaps with this green actually instead. I feel like that'll work better. I got Chinese food because I'm an adult and no one stopped me. There you go. Yeah, I'm reluctant to eat any more Chinese food now that I know that I can't eat gluten, because I think I'll have trouble finding gluten-free Chinese food. There is a really good gluten-free restaurant in Oklahoma City though that I went to when I was shopping for homes, and I can't remember what it's called. I want to say it's called The Good Bowl or something like that. Something bowl. I don't know. It's vegan mac and cheese, and most of the things are gluten-free. And they had a gluten-free vegan orange chicken mac and cheese bowl, and that was really, really good. Very tasty. And I went with my mom, and I didn't. So she was kind of disappointed that it was like vegan. So she's like, "Well, I don't want that fake meat stuff." I was like, but you like chicken, right? They got chicken here. But I didn't tell her that it was fake chicken. But she ate it with no complaints and enjoyed it. She thought it was really good. And then afterwards I was like, so that chicken was actually fake chicken. She's like, what do you mean fake chicken? I was like, it's just plant protein made to taste like chicken. That's all it is. I don't have a problem with vegan food at all. I quite enjoy it, actually. The diet cheese, like, I think that's how you pronounce it. Like, it's not as good as real cheese. Like, as a non-vegan, I would much prefer real cheese. But if that's what they've got, or if it's on sale, I'll eat it. I don't care. I probably wouldn't buy just diet cheese by itself. But if there's no other gluten-free pizzas except for the gluten-free vegan pizza, then I'll eat that. I'm okay with that. I'll even add my own cheese to it, because that cheese is just pecans, or not pecans. The hell am I trying to say? Cashew cheese. So if you like cashews, I mean, they add some stuff to it, maltodextrin and shit, which probably isn't good for you, but people eat it. People eat a lot of maltodextrin. So. There is a vegan Chinese food place near me. It was pretty good when I had it. That does sound good. I wonder if they have gluten-free options also. See, the problem with this shit is that, like, the processing, right? Because rice is naturally gluten-free, but a lot of times when you get rice, it's processed with wheat products, so it's no longer gluten-free. It's a big pain in my ass. Oh, did that wrong. But yeah, I've been eating this chickpea mac and cheese, and I really enjoy that. I'm a big mac and cheese fan, and people hear that and they're like, "What are you, a 2-year-old?" Like, no, I'm like a casserole person, right? I know that makes me sound like an old lady from the 70s or the 60s, but yeah, I will like. First of all, the produce aisle is like. That's like home for me at the grocery store. Like, that's the only reason why I'm really there. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll get some frozen pizzas and some water and some ground turkey or whatever meat is available. There's a wild Morgrim in chat. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. There we go. And but yeah, the real reason why I'm there is to get more produce, because I will like we were in Infinite stream the other day, and saying to Kixie, like, oh, you should eat more than one type of vegetable a day. And I started counting how many vegetables I was putting on my pizza, because like I was cooking the pizza during the stream, and I put 11 different types of vegetables on the pizza. And the pizza was cauliflower crust, so that like altogether that was like 12 different types of vegetables, I think. Unless I got that wrong, it's maybe 10 and then 11. I can't remember. Either way, it was a lot of different types of vegetables on there. And now I'm running out, so I do need to go to the grocery store again. But I'll be okay for like another couple days. But yeah, I'm out of radishes. I've still got potatoes. I've still got garlic. I've still got onions. I've still got carrot. So I'll be okay. And also, I also still have some shredded chicken that I made. Like, I got like the big thing of chicken breasts for like $20 some odd. Right now I'm only eating baby carrots. So baby carrots are actually the same as regular carrots, they're just cut to be that way. But they are convenient. But baby carrots are good for you, you know, or any carrots are good for you. I always want to get like the purple ones, but why are they more expensive, you know? Like, why can't they just be like regular priced carrots? I'm not rich enough to buy purple carrots. Oh, so this doesn't look good like that. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we do that. Maybe that doesn't look bad. Oh. Are you eating baby carrots with your beard? Now you want purple carrots? Yeah. You know what I do get? I splurge and I get the brown tomatoes. It's like Kumada tomatoes. They're from Mexico and they're brown and they're really, really, really good. They're not too acidic-y. Like they almost have like a thirst quenching effect to them. They're not pink on the inside like a lot of tomatoes from the grocery store are. They remind me a lot more of like homegrown tomatoes, or like the tomatoes I had in Italy, where they're like stable on the inside. Like you cut it and it cuts, like it doesn't just like fall apart and like smash while you're cutting it. I mean, you do need a sharp knife like any tomato, but like it's not just like goop held together by skin, you know what I mean? I've never heard of purple carrots. You never heard of them? No, the carrots are something I only eat for work lunch. They are work food. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because then you're not like, you know, carrying around a big old carrot. And one carrot's too much usually. What I usually do is I'll cut the carrot in half, and then I'll cut it like in planks. And then I'll cut those into little tiny chunks. Throw it in the boiling water. I do this thing, you know how like everyone like they'll like get tap water, they'll boil it, and then they'll put the noodles in there, and then they'll drain the water. I don't do that. I get bottled water, or like, you know, from a plastic container, right? And I'll put the water in the bowl, and I'll use just enough, or not the bowl, the pot. I'll use just enough. And then I will boil potatoes in there. I don't got no time for actually preparing food. Yeah, no, I know how that is. I do, so that's what I do. I definitely appreciate that time, and it's almost like a spiritual process for me. I really, really enjoy making my own food and eating my own food, so much more than like a restaurant or you know, packing a lunch or like any of that. I just like really like enjoying that time. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put my potatoes and carrots in the water before the noodles go in there. I'll cut up celery as thin as I can, as thin as I have time for. I'll put that in there, put the garlic in there, chop up garlic, super small pieces of garlic, put that in like minced, right? Purple carrots sound fancy because I don't think I've seen those at the store I go to. I've seen purple cauliflower, yeah, purple cauliflower, yeah, purple potatoes, purple carrots, definitely purple foods. Purple onion, no, I guess you call them red onions. Yeah, but yeah, so I basically make a broth before I put the noodles in there. Right, and then I put the noodles in once the potatoes are starting to like peel themselves, kind of, and the you know, you can see the carrots are cooked, right, because they change color a little bit, and the onions and the celery actually start to break down if you cut them thin enough, and same with the garlic. The garlic will kind of like I don't know, it's still there, but it's like almost one with the water. And I'll put salt and pepper in there to make that broth, right? And then the noodles are boiled in the broth. And then I keep adding stuff while it's like, you know, things that fall apart easier, like tomatoes and stuff, I'll do last. But then I'll put the cheese powder in. And I don't have a problem with powdered cheese. I know a lot of people are like, ew, powdered cheese, but it's just dehydrated cheese. And yeah, just stir that up until it thickens, because the potatoes help to thicken it. Also, I'll add coconut milk if I've got it, or oat milk. If I have it, you know, because you don't really do that. I don't add any butter because I don't ever buy butter. I know that like it's like a normal thing for people to buy. Like I don't waste my money on butter. I only buy eggs like once a month. Rick, I make all these really good foods. Me, microwave. I still use a microwave to reheat food, but only like a minute at a time. I'll put it in for a minute and then I'll stir it, and then I'll put it in for another minute if it's still not warm. But at that point I'm listening to make sure that it's not exploding, because I hate having a mess in the microwave. I've been blamed for many messes that weren't mine. So we're almost done here. We just need the fire, these things, and that, and then we'll have the whole foreground. So let's grab that. We'll grab the lily pad. But yeah, I've been getting these gluten-free burritos, and they're just too expensive, so I like kind of stop. They're okay. Like the bean and cheese ones weren't very good, but there's like a chicken bean and cheese one from the same brand that was much better. I don't know how the chicken made that much of a difference, but it did. It was like seasoned chicken or something, so I feel like that seasoning really helped the bean and cheese mix. Where the bean and cheese one, it just felt bland, and the gluten-free taco or burrito shell just doesn't taste as good as a regular one. It's weird, you know, you'd think they would just use like corn tortillas, but instead of doing that, they make like a potato tapioca starch like bread, and I don't know, probably about the same in carbs or whatever, but I don't know. I guess it's hard to get corn tortillas that aren't that are gluten-free. All right, so we also need these. So we'll take these ones directly, so that way we're not dealing with fighting palette bullshit. Hey, Jaren Draws, thanks for checking in. How you doing today? Welcome in. Yeah, I was just doing some pixel art here. Probably won't be going on too much longer. Maybe about maybe like 45 more minutes or so. And then I was planning to raid Kixie's stream when she starts her thing. She's hanging out here for now though, unless she's eating her burrito. Or doing both, multitasking. Doing pretty good, just lurking and working on some stuff. Yeah, and I got the shout out for you there. I was actually looking at your previous stream. It looked like some just chatting with another streamer, TP, I think his name was. And that was actually a lot of fun to listen to. I was surprised how much fun I was having just listening. So that's really cool. It was almost like a podcast. Yeah, well, thanks so much, dude. Yeah, no, absolutely. I always like to check out what people are up to. And I learned a little bit about you. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I checked out at least like a good 20 minutes of it. That's the first time I ever had a guest IRL, but it was fun. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I could tell just by watching that you were having fun, but it was fun to watch too. A lot of energy between you guys. There was like a lot of synergy there. All right, so I'm gonna steal the fire from this level. Yeah. And yeah, here's a level that's completed, so you can kind of see what I did this on stream actually. It took me a couple streams. I spent one stream doing the background or the foreground, and then another stream doing the background. But I also did the animating for the fire in engine, and then also the troubleshooting for the palettes, because this is a Game Boy Color game, and this engine that I'm using, GB Studio, it does a lot of the footwork for you. Like here you can see the prototype version of the level that we're making, and then also it's got like the collisions and stuff there. So I turned the collisions off so we don't have to look at them. But yeah, these were like the placeholder art that the designer of the level provided. And then if we go into Aseprite on the right level, you can see the changes that I've made, and I'm still going over the prototype part. Oh, that's not the right one. Like so. That's very kind of you. This level design is is super cool. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. The designer, a lot of times he'll be lurking in stream. He's actually based in Japan, so our time schedules don't always sync up. So he's probably asleep right now, I'm thinking. But he's a really cool guy. I haven't known him for very long, but the more I get to know him, the more I like him. So yeah, we've been working together just on this project. This is our first project working together. I've worked with a few different teams though, so I'm pretty decent at getting along with other people. I kind of want this bubble to be over here and stuff more. But yeah, it was interesting watching you guys talk about like your beginnings, right? Like as Fortnite streamers. I never played Fortnite myself. I almost did. I downloaded it, and then I got to the screen where it's like, "What's your gamer tag?" And I was like, "Shit, I don't know what my gamer tag is." And I like thought about it, and I was like, "No, I don't want to use that. No, I don't want to use that. I don't want to use my real name." You know, I use my real name for a lot of stuff, which is, you know, a lot of people be like, "Oh, don't use your real name," but like, I grew up in a time where like that's what people did. Also, like, I kind of use my real name for work, and I use my online presence to get work. So it kind of all, you know, I try to be as safe as I can in other means, but like my name is out there, so people can figure it out. Yeah. The first boss of Fortnite, yeah. Oh no, for real. Yeah, I think I ended up deciding Retro Space Baller was gonna be my game tag, but then I didn't actually play the game. I put in my tag and was like, oh, I don't want to play anymore. That was like a big enough hurdle. I don't want to have to sit there and learn how to play. But I guess like the first time you play it like puts you in against a bunch of easy bots, right? Isn't that the case? That's what I've heard. Like some people will be like, oh, I played Fortnite and I won my first game. I must be really good at it. And then someone else be like, yeah, those are bots, buddy. So my least favorite part about auditioning for stuff is when the person doesn't say anything right away. So I sit here like, oh no, they hated it. Yeah, I could see that. They're probably doing that for a number of reasons, but mostly I think people do that because they're trying to like, oh, I'm on the wrong fucking screen here. I'm killing everything. I think mostly people do that just because they want to make sure that all of their thoughts are in order before they start speaking. But you know what, man? You just gotta do what you do, right? And some people are gonna like it, and some people aren't gonna like it. Like there was, like I told you before, I follow a lot of voice actors, and one of them recently posted something saying that they were like really upset with how they were treated by one developer because they really didn't like what they were doing. And then I listened to their demo reel, and it was awesome. There was nothing wrong with it. So I literally think that it's going to be a personal preference thing in a lot of situations with voice acting. And some people are going to be more kind than others, and that sucks. You can't really rely on a dev to be kind, unfortunately. They're under a lot of pressure. They usually have some money wrapped up in this. Yep, gotta make stuff you can be proud of at the end of the day. Absolutely. You know, you just gotta do you. And yeah, you can take feedback, you know, and always push yourself to get better. But don't let anyone stop you from what you want to do. I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's always gonna hurt when you don't get the role that you want, or if someone says something that's unkind in the feedback. But you know, it's actually a little bit like game development, right? There was this, I tell this story a lot, but there was this person when I first put Retro Spaceball up, one of the games that I'm still working on 7 years later, when I first put it up online, some of the feedback I got was very negative, and sometimes people were nice about it, and then other times people weren't so nice about it. So one time this person said that the game I made them want to kill themselves. They phrased it just like that, and I'm sure it was hyperbole, but at the same time, like, it was really rude of them to say that, and instantly I got upset, but I didn't get upset on the keyboard. What I did instead was I thanked them, and I told them, you know, that I'm gonna do what I can to improve the game. I definitely appreciate them playing it, and I'm sorry that it wasn't to their standards and their liking. And I was completely serious, and that their tone changed instantly, and they actually started providing valid feedback after that, and it actually helped to make the game better because they had good points. They just were brash in their way of speaking. I think they were trying to test me and see what kind of person I was and see how I would react to them being a dick, essentially. And sometimes you just have to put all that aside for what you're working on and make the most out of it. What is this emote? Oh, cry. I got a crying emote, by the way. I got some new emotes. One of them isn't done yet, but we got crying, we got a heart, and we got a Game Boy with a smiley face. I actually got the Game Boy idea from your stream, Indy, because you've got a Game Boy on yours. You've got the Game Boy with the bunny, right? So, yeah, I totally got the idea. I was like, you know what would be cool? I do Game Boy stuff enough. Might as well make a Game Boy thing, you know? Just trying to think of things that I could give the followers, because I did all the sub emotes. Well, not all of them. I did a bunch of sub emotes before I did any of the follower emotes. I think I didn't realize that there was a difference. Yeah, so let's take this and this and this and this and this and this, and we'll add more variety to the trees here. They're happy little trees. Now, I've been watching a lot of Bob Ross on Twitch. I don't know if you guys ever watch that, but it's definitely worth a watch. A lot of times I'll have it on with no volume and just kind of like glance over at it while I'm working. Because I never actually got into it while it was on. I'm not that old. But I did watch this really crazy documentary that was on Netflix about Bob Ross. And like, he had this relationship, like a business partnership with this woman who was like the executive producer for the show, and she ended up like owning the rights to like his likeness and like owning the rights to his name and like all of this stuff. And it's like, it's scary how much like was going on behind the scenes there, where he was kind of getting screwed and couldn't break off and do his own thing. Like, it was a really interesting documentary. He was kind of trapped into an agreement that he had made like early on, and things just got worse and worse, it seemed like. So I like where this is going with the foreground. We do got some time to take care of some of the background stuff. I kind of want to make sure we're not going over on palettes first though, because we added this. But we did remove a palette, so we should be fine. But just to be certain, let's do an export. Make sure it's the right folder. Yep. And we've got the assets folder here and the Pyrotoad folder. 18K color, copy, paste. We'll change the name so we can replace the file. And we'll just drag it into the backgrounds folder, replace the file in the destination. And now, if we change this to auto color mode, alright, yeah, looks like it's working fine. with no issues. I was a little worried about the thing, because if you go over 8 palettes for Game Boy Color in this particular engine, it'll like try to figure it out itself, and it doesn't look good. So you want to make sure that you manage that. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. So this is like the first 2 Haunted Forest levels. These are like Foundry levels. These 4, and then these 4 are like Egyptian pyramid levels, Egyptian temple kind of thing. And then yeah, like it's got the cave light coming through, and then these are like a chemical factory. There's a little bit of variety in the background, but the foreground's still similar. And then these are like castle levels. And this is the first level, so you're like outside, and you like enter the tower, and you're actually going down underneath the tower, but works. But we still got some levels to go. So there's 2 more forest levels. And then we've got level 21, 22, 23, and 24. We're kind of undecided on the order of the biomes, but we do have some biomes laid out. If I pull out the Trello, we can take a look at that. I'm a big fan of Trello, but the Pyrotoad one is pretty small. But it's good to keep them small, to be honest, because then they're easier to manage. So yeah, this one's done, this one's done, this one's done, this one's done, and now we're on this one. We've got Clouds, Hell, Low Gravity, and Yokai, which is like samurai ghosts, samurai demon type stuff. I was thinking it'd be cool to do like some dragon stuff in there to make Skelly happy. One of our friends, Infinite Metal. I was reading the Indie Maniac when I said that. Infinite Metal has like a counterpart on his stream where he does voices for a bone dragon and also his own voice. So he like has conversations with himself. It's really interesting to watch. And he's hilarious too. He's a very funny guy. Also, he's really cool. He does retro stuff. I should shout him out while we're chatting about him because he's just really cool. I think I spelled it right. Yeah, he does retro streams and sometimes indie games, and just really unique personality. And yeah, he's an ex-DJ. I realized that's pretty cool. I don't know much else about him. I haven't known him for very long, but he's a very cool guy. But yeah, so it'd be cool to squeeze some dragon stuff in there, since that kind of fits the yokai theme. And then yeah, Low Gravity, I don't know, or maybe like on the moon or something like that, because that's more of a mechanic than a biome. Hell, I think that'd be fun to do, like a Pyrotoad or Pyrotoad in Hell kind of thing. And then Clouds, yeah, I don't know, just like Mario and the Clouds kind of thing. And there's a lot of levels. I think there's like 30 something, 34 or something. $35. Yeah, this looks like the biggest one yet. And they all have different mechanics, but they kind of stack on top of each other. So like these ones, oh, actually I have that stuff turned off, don't I? Yeah, so if we're looking at the sprites and all that stuff, you can see there's a lot of variety in the mechanics. I'll kind of go through a little bit here. So, and I would just play it, but it's a very difficult game to play. Like, for instance, this one is like, you have to race this thing because it gets to there and it stops. And if you, or no, it gets to here and stops. And if you don't get over there before it, then you can't get by. So you have to like jump there, get that thing with the, because you jump there and get lit on fire. And since you're Pyrotoad, that doesn't hurt you. And then you shoot the fire at the bramble. Bramble goes away. You get that thing again. You shoot that one, get that one again, shoot that one. You drop down there because you can't make that jump. And then you gotta jump up here because these are like one-way tiles. And then you jump there, jump down there. And then this is like a spring jump. So you jump there, up there, up there. And you can actually make one of these jumps. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah. So you do that. You gotta jump over that, make it over there. Yeah, I think it was this jump that you could, or no. Yeah, no, this one. If you like did it just right, you could make that jump, I think. But also it's really difficult because like the thing is like right there when you're making the jump, so you're like, and like it narrowly hits you. And the balloon disappears once you jump on it, so it's like a one-way jump. But the feather lets you jump in midair, so you like get up here, drop, get the feather, and jump in midair over there. Jump over there. You don't need the balloon anymore, and since you have the key, you can go through the door to the next level. And yeah, these enemies do different things. If you look at the programming of it, you can see what it does. So it moves like moves to there, and then moves to there, and then moves to there, then moves to there, and then there, and then back. That's an interesting way of doing it, actually. I probably would have just make it go from there to there and then there to there, but maybe it stops for a second. I'm not really sure. Or maybe it changes. Oh, it looks like it changes speed is what it does. So depending on where it's moving to, it'll change its speed. I don't think I've actually played that level. The electricity, it like turns on and then turns off. So it's like a timing thing. Oh, there's a wild mosh hold in chat. And then these platforms, I believe they move and stuff. Probably when you land on this, starts moving, I think. Yeah, it looks like it speeds up until it reaches a certain velocity. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what these are going to be because these are placeholder stuff, but I'll have to go in and deal with that later. But yeah, I think the starting point was moved. Where did I put it? On the new level? Yeah. So that's like where the player starts when you start the game. So I'm gonna put it back at the beginning. Actually, I think it should be this one. And we've got a password thing here. So I haven't actually tested that yet, so it'll be interesting to play with. I'm gonna do a quick build. It will take a second to build, but we've got the build log here. And this warning is okay because we're actually not using the UI. So some of those tiles are reserved for UI, and so we're overwriting those tiles, but we don't use them, so it should be fine. No one caught the Pokemon. Alright, it looks like it's done loading. Yeah, so there's no start screen yet, so that's something that I want to do relatively soon here. But yeah, it also takes some thinking and takes a lot of time. I kind of want to try this password scene. I haven't done this yet before. Password okay. Oh yeah, look at that. I warped to this level. Oh, this level. This gets me almost every time. I'm really not great at this. I got it. Gotta restart my computer and do some stuff. Enjoy the rest of your stream. Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to, if you're starting at your normal time, can't wait to raid you. And I hope that you enjoy your time before your stream, because that's coming up soon here. But thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you very much. No, thank you. This part gets me too. There's lily pads under there, but you don't know about it until you jump down there. Boing. There we go. Oh, and I jumped right into it. Alright. Password frog. Yeah, so there's no way to get back to the main menu yet, though. We had like a debug menu, but we removed it to put the passwords in there. And now I wish there was a way to get back to the main menu. But there isn't. But if we do an actual build, rather, or like export it as a ROM rather than just testing it within the engine, then we can use a different emulator that allows you to reset it easier. Actually, maybe the mouse click lets you reset it. I don't know. It usually does in other emulators. Yeah, it'll be interesting to get some players, testers that actually play these types of games, because I'm really not good at precision puzzle platformers. So this emulator is BGB. And it lets you put in your own colors and stuff, so that's cool. Oh, because this is Game Boy Color, it doesn't do that. I don't remember what the other ones are. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, well, this works. Oh, I think I turned down the audio. Did that fix it? Yeah. But yeah, this is the first level, so it's just very basic, super easy. And it just kind of teaches you some of the main mechanics. Level 3. Yeah, and if you hit the shift button, or the select button rather, it tells you the password. Oh shit, I needed that. I'm not gonna make it now. Oh, I did it. Yeah, the levels get progressively harder for the most part. Psh. I hit the wrong button. This emulator has different buttons than the other emulators, so that's why I hit the wrong button. It's a lot easier with the controller. I should just be using it with the controller. Oof. Oh, I don't need it. I don't need that platform. There we go. I thought I did for a second. Oof. Oh, you gotta get like just perfect. Oh. Nope. Oh. Jump. Pretty much. Hey, I jumped through it that time. Hey. Oh, into the spike. Oops. Can't do that. It's such a hard jump. Maybe it's easier when you're going down. No, it's not. Not any easier. Oh, I thought I had it. Maybe I need to go the other way. Maybe I'm trying to do the hard way or something. Oh. Oh, look at that. You don't need to go that way. The whole time I thought you had to go that way. I guess that would make the level a lot shorter if you could, though. I still need a sound effect for picking up the key. Ah, that's rough. Oh wait, you don't want to go that way. Why was I going that way? I still want to hit this jump. I feel like you can do it. Maybe you can't. Nah, you probably can't. Oh, there's a wild gastrodon in chat. Anyone wants to try to catch that? I don't know why, but my voice wants to go into a southern accent when I say that. A wild gastrodon in chat. Yeah, and if you're still hanging out, when you mentioned that that voice acting audition, I was actually thinking about, well, not definitely, but I was thinking about checking it out just because like it sounded interesting, but like I don't know, I also like don't want to like deal with other people's time limits and stuff like that. So I don't want to add pressure to my life for some reason. Probably be okay, but also like I don't know. I jumped right into it, but I'm interested to know about what kind of characters they needed, that kind of stuff. I kind of only work for certain characters. Like I can't do everything. Like, I can do a lot, but I feel like some things I do much better than other things. Like I can do old people and like hillbillies and stuff. Hey, I beat the level. Sweet. Oh, and now I'm back at the frog level. Oh, on the spikes. It's just weird that those spikes have different colored background. Wonder if it's something that I can fix. Probably can. It looks like I didn't even need to be on fire. Ah, I knew it was gonna happen. I was like, oh, I'm gonna hit that spike in my head. And then I did. This time I got it. That was close. I did it! Woo! Ah! I hit the spikes on the way down. I was so close too. Yeah. Oof. Well. Getting close to that time here. We'll pull up Kixie on extra window, so that way we're there when she starts. Oh, right into it. Ah. Oh, hesitated there. Oh, I almost forgot about it. Or I did forget about it. I almost hit it. I beat the level. Oh, this level. Screwed me up when I landed like halfway into it. Chances are I need to get on fire again, huh? That was very, very close. Oh. Timer going off. I missed. Yeah, this is another thing here. Oh, it looks like it's starting. Oh, someone else got it first though. Gosh darn it. Alright, yep. Kixie's just about ready to start her stream. So, once her thing is, I think it's already loaded. Yeah, we'll just join right away since it's kind of a small stream here. So yeah, thanks everyone for that. What are we doing here? Get the raid message back out here. So if anyone's here that wants to use the emotes for the raid, Indy, if you're still around, well, that's where we're going. We're heading over to Kixie's chat, so or not, that's cool too. Well, thanks everyone for hanging out on the stream, watching the VODs, anything like that. And, oh yeah, Indy's here still too. Yeah, let's go raid Kixie, and we'll see you soon. Thanks everyone. Looks like we were gonna raid into an ad, but it should be okay. Oh, it won't let me raid because the ad? Is that the case? Why is the raid not happening? The ad's not on. Try it again. You can do the command in chat and see if that works. I don't know the command. Raid person's name. Alright, that works. Thank you. Oh. Is that gonna work? No. That's an invalid username. Can't do that. Let's try it again. Oh, it won't let me. She won't let me raid. Well done. Interesting. It's because I made her aware that the raid was coming. She says, I'm gonna prevent him from raiding. Maybe it's because the ad break? I had someone who had raids off, but I don't know what the problem is. Maybe it's because she was on an ad break. No, that's not it. I did, I typed it just like that. It says, call me Kixie's raid settings do not allow you to raid at this time. Very strange. Oh wait. Is she in a BRB screen? Yeah, she's in the starting soon screen. You think that has something to do with it? Maybe that's why. Other than that, I don't know. Yeah, either that or I'm like on a no raid list. She's like, I don't want raids from this loser. I raided her during this loading screen before. You can turn off raids, but I don't know about stopping them during certain times. Maybe she broke something. Maybe. Oh, thanks for checking in, Tanker. I was actually just about to raid out, but how are you doing today? I was trying to raid someone, but their raids are either turned off or something. It's not allowing raids at this time, so we'll see what happens when her starting soon screen goes away. Oof. Yeah. But I can show you what we were working on real quick. So this is what I was working on the last stream, and it's all done and ready and in engine and testable. But yeah, got some brown leaves, and this is tiles from the last level. We got some vines, excuse me. We got a creepy tree face. We got some background trees. We got some foreground trees. We got like this weird cave dirt stuff going with the vines, the rocks. This stuff bubbles. The flames move a little bit. We've got this.
Too late. Game over, pal.
Game over, pal. Nice. I know someone you can raid. Well, I'm still gonna try to raid this person. We'll figure it out. But also, I've got backup people. But I appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna try to raid Call Me Kixie. So yeah. Also, I'm not hearing her stream. Maybe my music is too loud. Oh yeah, there it is. It's in the background. ALR. Is she muted? Oh, Az is on top of it. Well, I can try it now that her stream is actually started. I can try again. Maybe that'll work.
Hello, everybody. So good to see you. I hope you all had a good week. I noticed, Rick, you're having a little bit of trouble. And thank you, Yami. Thank you, and good to see you. Yeah,
Oh, it's working now.
I'm all better, Yami. Thank you.
So it must have been just during the starting screen.
I feel all better. They took away your raid privileges, Rick.
Yeah, there's the raid message. I can do the other one too.
Oh, no. Thank you, Yami. Yeah, I do feel a lot better.
So there's the sub one on top and the non-sub on bottom.
More than normal, and I can tell my whoa.
And then if you've got that copied, pasted, or copy to paste, we're going to hit the raid now button.
A little bit. It's not peak,
But yeah, she's a really cool streamer. She does indie games and she does a lot of Steam window shopping, so that's always a lot of fun. So we're gonna head over there now, and yeah, I appreciate it if you all chat kindly over there.
Well, I've never heard of that before. What happened? He might not hear me if he's like dealing with that. Thank you for the raid, Rick. Thank you so much. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, raiders. Welcome. My name is Kixie, and I'm a variety streamer that focuses on indie games.